Good Tuesday morning. The news every Jet fan was waiting for happened yesterday afternoon. Aaron Rodgers officially a Jet. Well, I guess the trade officially will happen sometime in the coming days, but it is done. He is going to be on the Jets. The terms are agreed to. You had both general managers finally settling on something, so that is great news, and this is definitely a Boomstradamus, we bow to thee type of morning when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, because just about everything that you said was going to happen happened, including the number he will be wearing. So that's the good part of Boomer this morning. So I'm going to try to throw as many flowers as I can and bouquets at your feet for the Aaron Rodgers thing to even out what happened last night at Madison Square Garden, where your team decided that this was a regular season game that you didn't need to win. It felt like they came out and said, hey, this is the end of the regular season. Doesn't matter. We're locked into a seed and we'll live to fight another day. So all that's on the table today, but let's not be too negative. Like you told me yesterday, let's not be too negative today. Remember all that? No negativity stuff. Well, let's see how that works out this morning. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, I've been better. I will say this, that I'm blaming this whole thing on that fat-ass Sean Morash for, getting up with that freaking broom and acting like, we're going to sweep. You never mess. You never touch the money. How many times do I have to tell these morons around here that you can't do that? And listen, I give all the credit to the Devils and Lindy Ruff. The Devil fan wanted Lindy Ruff fired at the beginning of the year. Fire Lindy, fire Lindy. Right now, he is basically out coaching Elmer Fudd. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous what has happened here. Yeah. And even Gallant said it last night after the game, because I wanted to hear what he had to say. He laid it out there. Yeah. My team's lazy. My offside winger is lazy. And I'm like, you use words like that after the first two games, and the third game was a good game too. It was a tight game, and we make rookie goalies look like freaking Jacques Plante, for God's sake. I don't know what it is, but this is what it means to be a Ranger fan. So it's frustrating this morning when I wake up. I'm a little ticked off. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'm wearing Joe Namath's jersey, number 12, because they are acquiring number 12 from Green Bay. He will be wearing number 8, like I told you he would be when he would come here, because there's no way he is going to insult the great Joe Namath. And I'm excited for the Jets. I'm excited for what the football season around here is going to be. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be, we are going to be right in the middle of all of it. And I do believe that the Jets will have 6 primetime games, and that they could be in a 7th primetime game.
7 of them?
So I'm thinking they're going to have 2 Thursdays, 2 Sundays, and a Monday.
That means Al's not going to see a lot of Jet games.
2 Mondays. That's right.
Al's going to miss half the Jets season.
This is a huge deal. Nobody sent me any Fugazi letter telling me that he was going to San Francisco, and then I ran with that. There's no way that this was not going to happen, because I was saying for 2 months that Aaron Rodgers had the ultimate leverage, and that was a contract that nobody was going to be able to absorb. So when Woody Johnson and everybody flew out there and they spoke about contract with him to let him know that if we can do this type of contract with you, then we can be flexible and we can be more aggressive with other players and free agents like Alan Lazard. And, that was the hammer that Aaron Rodgers had. So all this other nonsense, all this other crap out there was just nothing but that, because there was no way that Aaron Rodgers was going to do what he is going to do for the Jets. And when the Jet fan finds out what Aaron Rodgers is going to play for, they are going to be very appreciative, because he's not coming here getting $50 million a year guaranteed. He's just not.
Once Aaron Rodgers decided and then said publicly that he wanted to be on the Jets and play for the Jets, that was the end of this, because he was going to only modify that contract to play for the team he wanted to play for, as you've been saying for weeks. So it was over at that point. He was either going to have to retire or end up playing for the Jets.
He wants to play.
He wanted to play. Joe Douglas said it right in front of all our crowd there at Boomer and Geo Live that he was going to be here eventually. I don't think he would have said that. He knew what the hell was going on. He knew he was going to be filmed by cell phone cameras. He knew that was going to be out there. So it is a relief this morning that all of this is over. And it's funny because we say that it's over. It's just the beginning, because all of the great stuff and hopefully great stuff that comes with this Aaron Rodgers deal is going to happen now. Him getting here, the press conference, obviously every single Jet game is going to be an event at this point. I mean, there's that Winners Brothers bus that goes to those Jets games. There's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be able to get on that bus because that thing is going to be packed every single week because they're going to be one of the hottest stories in sports.
Well, here's the thing, and as I told you, and I swear to God, it goes back months, that he has to be all in. He has to be exactly what Tom Brady was to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If they have any chance to win, he has got to modify his contract, and he's got to come here, and he's got to have like a level of commitment to the team that is going to at least give them a chance to get into the playoffs. And then when you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. I saw Larry Fitzgerald put out a tweet yesterday that this is a great day for Jet fans. Jets have one of the best young, talented rosters in the league. And you can already tell by the way the Jet players were reacting on social media. I mean, think about Mekhi Becton right now. Mekhi Becton is basically changing himself as we speak. And he knows he's got a Hall of Fame quarterback sitting back there.
He changed his avatar to Aaron Rodgers wearing number 8 in college. That's now what his Twitter avatar is.
They know what I know. So it's a great day. It's a great day. And I know that Aaron's 39. He's going to be 40. Hopefully he plays at least 2 years here. And really the perfect roadmap, and I know people probably don't want to hear this, but I'm telling you what the perfect roadmap would be for the Jets. The perfect roadmap is that Aaron Rodgers leads them into the playoffs and gives them a shot at the Super Bowl. That's the first part.
Yeah.
The second part is a little guy by the name of Zach Wilson, who's sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, and he's in a room with Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett, and Todd Downing, and he's learning as he's going. And by the time that he's ready to hopefully take over, he will be a nice extension of the Aaron Rodgers 2 to 3 years here. So that would be the perfect game plan.
It would be.
The map.
And nobody's thinking about that right now. That's a Jet fan.
I am, but I'm not a Jet fan.
Right. But a Jet fan is not caring about that in this moment. That would be great. A little water, a little sunlight, hopefully on Zach Wilson. Next thing you know, he'll grow a little bit, and he's going to be the backup. And the one thing I don't want to see is Aaron Rodgers going down and Zach Wilson having to play when he's not ready to go out there and play again.
He may be ready now. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know if he's ready or not, because I want to see Aaron Rodgers play every single game, get this team to the playoffs. And to me, the minimum now that is acceptable for the Jets is an appearance in the AFC Championship game. That is the minimum. They got to get to that game, whether they're hosting it or they're on the road. And I understand the AFC is stacked. Every single year there's surprise teams, both up and down. Maybe one of these really good teams in the AFC has a down year. Whatever. You got to. This is win now. This team has had a longest playoff-less streak in sports. You got to at least get to that championship game and give yourself a shot to get to the Super Bowl.
You hear what you said about the playoff, situation, the longest in sports, not being in the playoff, whatever. I mean, that's one of the reasons that this has been driven to this point.
Oh, yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why, Joe Douglas and Woody Johnson spent all this time and effort and money and some draft capital at the end of the day. I mean, they swapped later picks, which is a boom for the Jets, although it's a minor kind of like equalizer to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and does he stay here for 2 years, and is he able to rise his franchise to a level it hasn't been since Rex Ryan was here? That's really what it comes down to. And he's got more than enough football left, and Gutekunst can say whatever he wants in Green Bay about his age and Jordan Love and all this other crap. That was a messy divorce. We all know that. And quite frankly, the Jets unfortunately had to go through all that crap between, the issues between Gutekunst and Rodgers and Murphy and Rodgers agent. And these, back and forth, it was ridiculous. But at the end of the day now, it really is, you're acquiring one of the greatest throwers of the ball that we've ever seen in this league, and he is a great, great player who will make everybody better. His accuracy is uncanny, his ability to make big plays, uncanny, and the effect that he will have on every young player in this team will be palatable, just like it was when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things that have been talked about a ton in the beginning that I do not think will happen. One, him not buying in and not being here and skipping the offseason stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. And
he's going to be here.
Yeah, and exactly. And there's a picture of him yesterday from a Calabasas grocery store, and I know I'm just looking at a picture of him. I've seen a lot of Aaron Rodgers in my life. He looks great. He looks like he is in shape today to play tomorrow. I think he will be driven by the criticisms. He will be driven by what happened in Green Bay. He'll be driven by making the Jets better than Brett Favre did. I believe that is in his mind, too.
This guy's going to be serious.
To do something that Brett Favre wasn't able to do with the Jets. I think that he is going to be absolutely at the top of his game. Another thing that I don't think is going to be an issue is when everybody talks about, the New York media and how he fights against the media and this and that. That is just a total load of crap. Nobody has dealt with more media in the NFL over the last 5 years than Aaron Rodgers has.
Maybe Tom Brady.
I think Aaron Rodgers more so because of the COVID stuff and the toes and the immunization and everything else. And the
toes. What are the toes?
Remember the COVID toes? And he put his foot up to the camera. You don't remember that? He said he had a broken toe and it's COVID toes.
I don't really.
Yeah, there was a whole thing, and he put his foot right up to the Zoom call.
About, Antonio Brown burning the
No. The Aaron Rodgers COVID toes thing that it was going on. But there is nothing. He's not going. He may fight against some narratives, as he likes to say, against him, but he is not going to not be able to handle the media. If there's anybody who is equipped to handle media scrutiny, it's Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know why people think otherwise. Just because he likes to fight back doesn't mean that he can't deal with it.
I think it would be great if he fights back.
But he will. It doesn't mean that he's thinking about it all day.
Here's one thing. If I were to advise Aaron Rodgers just one thing, I said just whatever you do, just don't go RELAX to Jet fans because they can't. Just like me as a Ranger fan this morning, I can't relax. I'm not happy. So he's going to be fine when he comes here, and he's going to make everybody better. And he's going to make the Jets a central team. Now, all of a sudden, look at me. I'm wearing a Joe Namath jersey today. And I love wearing this jersey. The jersey's beautiful. It's a great jersey. And, when we get the 8, I'm going to get an 8 for me, and I'm going to get an 8 for Winnie Doo-Doo.
Oh, that's tremendous.
So Winnie Doo-Doo is going to have an 8. She's going to have it.
And, look at this on CBS Sports Network. Got a bunch of Aaron Rodgers heads that
I think it's great. I think it's great that they went and got him. And when they went all in and they flew out to get him, I knew that that's when it was going to happen because they had to sit down with him specifically and hear what he had to say. And once they came back and heard what he had to say, they knew that this was the right guy for the moment. Yeah, and you think about Rob Saleh and Joe Douglas and where the Jets came from. And you had, after Adam Gase, we had no idea where this thing was going to go. They thought they drafted their future quarterback. It has not worked out to this point. But a roster was built around that position that was good enough to attract one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. Yes, he only has one Super Bowl, but he is still one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. And he wanted to come here to be a member of the Jets to try to win another Super Bowl. And that right there is hard to comprehend for Jets fans and those of us who have paid attention to the Jets, but that's where they are. That's what Joe Douglas has built. And yeah, he swung and missed to this point on Zach Wilson. But the roster and what they have created to this point attracted Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay, out of the darkness retreat, out of retirement, out of ayahuasca in Costa Rica. All of that, he wanted to be a Jet. And blue of the earth.
Blue of the earth. He's out of that, and he's dating Mallory Edens.
I hope so. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, he's going to make everybody better, and he's going to sign a very, very team-friendly contract, given who he is and what he's accomplished in his career. He knows he wants to win, and he knows financially what he has to do in order for the Jets to be able to support him. And that's something that nobody is even looking at or even talking about, and I don't know why. That's one of the most important things in the NFL today is salaries, how they're constructed, who's got guaranteed money. He is leaving money, significant money, on the table. This will be probably announced in the next couple of days, I'm sure. And when you Jet fans see what he's coming here to play for and how much he's leaving on the table, you'll like him even more.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna recognize that he is coming here with a real purpose. This is not somebody who's coming here for the money grab or for a chance to win. Like when I say like Patrick Kane forced his way here from the Chicago Blackhawks. He wanted to come and play for the Rangers. And, so he went to the Blackhawks and said, hey, this is where I want to go. I have a no trade clause in my contract, and this is the only place I want to go. So he kind of hamstrung, the Blackhawks. That's kind of like what Aaron Rodgers did to the Green Bay Packers. So I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that today is a good day in Jetland, but it's still the offseason, and there's a ton of work left to be done. And, the Jets did swap first-round picks like I told you they were going to.
Mm-hmm.
And they still are going to have a very good player that is going to be sitting there for them to select. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not it's another wide receiver, whether it's another offensive lineman.
It's got to be another offensive lineman.
Yeah.
It has to be because they did not upgrade there in the way that I thought that they would, and they really tried.
Becton's coming back, man.
I understand, but they still tried to get. They knew that too, and they still tried to sign Orlando Brown and couldn't get it done. So they know they got to upgrade there. So I believe it's going to be whatever the best tackle is left on the board. They're going to try to bring in and add to that offensive line and have it here with Elijah Vera-Tucker, hopefully Mekhi Becton, and whoever they draft.
They re-signed McGovern back now.
Right.
Again, he's just going to make everybody better.
Yeah, and by the way, as you mentioned with the contract thing, for all the Derek Carr truthers out there and all the Jets fans that thought that Derek Carr was a better option, Derek Carr wasn't taking a discount to come to the Jets or any other team.
No, he's in the middle of his prime, by the way.
Right, but still.
And he wants to be a starter for a long term. He doesn't want to have Zach Wilson sitting behind him.
Exactly. So that is a huge part of this story. And this could not have worked out better for the Jets. It just couldn't have to this point. Now, it's got to perform. It's going to have to play out on the field. We all know this. But to this point, this was the best case scenario going into stopgap this team that's ready to win now. I couldn't, outside of getting Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes on this team, you couldn't have done any better.
No, you can't.
So here you are, Jets fans. This is metal meets the meat. Nut cutting time. Pedal to the metal. Every single cliche that you got, it starts today. Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network.